Scene script. U.S. imposes fresh sanctions on individuals, entities that support Hamas. Before we dive in details, please subscribe to the channel and stay always one step ahead to know all global important events happening around you. Give a thumbs up and share the video with your family and friends. Let's move on with the video. The United States on Tuesday declared that it is imposing fresh sanctions on individuals and entities that supported the terrorist group Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, PIJ. As per U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the decision was made after coordinating with the United Kingdom, UK. He also reiterated the U.S.'s commitment to disrupt terrorist financing channels across the world. Blinken, in a post on the microblogging site X, said, "The United States, in coordination with the UK, is imposing sanctions on individuals and entities that have supported Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorist groups. We continue to coordinate with our partners and allies to disrupt these terrorist financing channels." Notably, since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, the U.S. has imposed 3 rounds of sanctions on Hamas and its supporters, including the current one. Hamas is also designated as a terrorist group by Israel, the United States, the European Union, Britain and others. As per the news agency Reuters, the U.S.'s action on Tuesday specifically targeted Mahmoud Khaled Zahar, a senior member and co-founder of Hamas, the PIJ's representative to Iran and the Syria-based senior leaders of the militant wing. The Palestinian terrorist group Hamas launched a barrage of rocket attacks in southern Israel on October 7th, killing over 1,600 people in Israel. Meanwhile, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, 11,000 people have been killed in the retaliatory strikes by the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF. Fast forward to recent times, and the tensions between Israel and Hamas have escalated. Notable incidents have fueled the fire, such as the conflict that saw Hamas and the Israeli army locked in intense fighting. The streets were filled with the chilling sounds of machine gun fire, painting a grim picture of the situation on the ground. Another significant event was actor Mark Ruffalo's controversial tweets, which called for sanctions on Israel and likened it to apartheid South Africa. These posts stirred up a storm of reactions, highlighting the highly charged and divisive nature of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Furthermore, we cannot ignore the case of Salman Rushdie, who faced a fatwa calling for his murder, issued by Iran's first supreme leader Ruhollah Khomeini. This has been exploited by Iran, which has continued to praise the fatwa, further fueling tensions and adding to the complexity of the situation. These events painted a vivid picture, one that eventually led to the U.S.'s decision to impose fresh sanctions. In understanding the impact of these sanctions, it's important to remember the key points that have been discussed. Firstly, sanctions are punitive measures, aimed at curbing the activities of entities that are deemed to pose a threat to international peace and security. They are not just political tools, but are designed to exert pressure and bring about change. In this case, the United States has imposed fresh sanctions on entities that support Hamas, a group that has been involved in protracted conflicts with the Israeli army. These sanctions are intended to limit the resources available to Hamas, thereby influencing their ability to engage in warfare. The support for Hamas and the events leading up to these sanctions are deeply interwoven with the history of the region. It's a complex tapestry of alliances, conflicts and power struggles, which have been further exacerbated by the recent surge in violence. Remember, the impact of these sanctions extends beyond the entities they target. They can have far-reaching consequences, affecting individuals and communities, disrupting lives and livelihoods. As we continue to observe the unfolding situation, it's essential to keep these points in mind. Sanctions are not just political tools, they have real-world impacts on entities and ultimately, on individuals.